One thing that original Medicare nor Medicare supplements cover are prescription drugs. That's covered under a separate program called Medicare Part D. Folks, it's called Medicare Part D. It's real easy to remember. Medicare Part D, D for drug. Now, the first thing you need to know about Medicare Part D is that it is optional. You don't have to take Medicare Part D. However, if you don't take it when you're first eligible and you don't already have drug coverage through another source like an employer plan or retirement plan, then later on down the road when you do enroll, you will be assessed a penalty. It's called a late enrollment penalty, and it can be pretty stiff. It adds up. The later you are, the bigger the penalty is. And you don't pay it one time, folks. You pay it every month for the rest of your life. So what I always tell people on this is, even if you don't take any prescriptions, when you're turning 65, just get the cheapest plan. It does two things for you. Number one, it gives you coverage in case something comes up, because you can't get these things in the middle of the year. You have to wait for the annual enrollment period. And number two, it prevents you from paying a penalty later on. But here's how I work with these things. There's a whole bunch of them out there. There's over 20 of them. I don't work for or represent or get paid by any of them. But what I do is I point you in the right direction. So when we get together, you're going to give me a list of your prescriptions, however long or short that may be, and we're going to plug those in to the Medicare website. We're going to plug those into the Medicare website. And, you know, it's anonymous. We don't put your name in, but we do put your prescriptions in. And what that website does, excuse me, is it takes all of the plans that are available in your area and it sorts them based on your total out-of-pocket cost for the whole year. Now that includes your monthly premiums for the plan, plus any deductibles that may be required, plus your copays when you go to the pharmacy. It adds all that up and it tells us what's your actual bottom line out of your pocket for the whole year. And then because pretty much all the pharmacies take all of these things, well, we're just going to pick the cheapest one. Now we have to do that process every year because these plans, unlike the Medicare supplement plans that never change, the coverage never changes except for the price. These plans are subject to change every single year, and they can change drastically and everything about them can change. The monthly premium can change, the deductible can change, the copays can change, the formularies can change, your prescriptions can change. The doctor can put you on something different. And you can only change plans once a year during the annual enrollment period, which runs from October 15th to December 7th. And then the new plans start on January 1st. So here's what typically happens. You get you a Medicare prescription drug plan. October 15th rolls around and I give you a call and I say, hey, it's time to review your drug plan. And what do you tell me? You go, no, Ron, I'm traveling, drug plan worked fine, and it's not broke, don't fix it. Now, what you didn't know, and what I didn't know either, because there's over 20 of these things out there, each one of them has a formulary book with 1,500 drugs in it. I can't keep up with that. Is that drug that you were taking that was at a tier 2 and you were paying $42. Now these numbers here, by the way, are made up. These are not the real numbers. That drug you were taking that was at $42 a month on tier 2, that insurance company came back and said, you know, we weren't making a lot of profit on that drug at $42. So next year we're going to move it to tier 3 and you're going to pay $91 a month for it. Well, plan number 2 over here on the other side, they didn't make that change. So they've still got that drug at tier 2. But now you let that December 7th deadline expire, you're now stuck with this plan for a whole nother year paying a higher price. So if you would have just allowed me to review your prescription list with you, I could have found the best plan for you going forward for the next year. Now, finding the right plan is the hard part. Once you get it, they're pretty cut and dry. You pay us a monthly premium, whatever that is. I don't know until we put your prescriptions into the site. After that, there's an annual deductible, which can be as low as $0 or as high as $405 for this year, 2018. After you've met the deductible, which can be $0, then you pay a copay at the pharmacy. Now, a lot of your generic drugs are going to be very inexpensive, maybe even be free with some of the plans. But as you go up these tiers, well, they get pretty pricey. In fact, they can be downright expensive as you get into the non-preferred brand and the specialty tiers. They can cost you a lot of money. So it's very important that we review your plan every single year. That's one thing that I do for you free of charge. It doesn't cost you anything if you'll just help me by sending me the information every year when we request it. That's Medicare prescription drug plans, Medicare Part D. That's the hard part about it. You need one, even if you don't take any prescriptions, and I will help you find the right one every single year. Now, we're going to move on, and we're going to do just a little bit of a review. So we've covered the entire original Medicare side of the chart. So we've talked about original Medicare from the government. We've talked about a Medicare supplement plan that pays you out-of-pocket cost up here, and a prescription drug plan that helps out with the prescriptions. Now, this is the side that gives you all the choices. You can go to any doctor or any hospital that you choose as long as they accept original Medicare. That's the only requirement. And when you go, you don't have any out-of-pocket costs because between Medicare and your supplement, depending on the plan you pick down here, they're paying for everything. And this is the plan that gives you no managed care. So what the doctor orders is what you get with very few exceptions.